Hi everyone, welcome to RK PhD. My name is Megha and here I share information on PhD admission process, planning PhD years and beyond in a clear and concise format. In today's video, which is going to be the last of 2020, I'm going to talk about a relevant topic: how to cope and readjust your PhD during a pandemic or any unprecedented situation. 2020, the year that changed it all. Since March this year, many of us doing PhD underwent a drastic shift in our daily lives. We quarantined in our hostel rooms or stayed in our hometowns, isolated ourselves while trying to register this new normal in our brains. It has been more than 8 months now, and some of us are back to the original routines. But many of us are still struggling to carry on with our day. With minimum human contact and almost nil informal chat with our fellow scholars, it's damn challenging. Understanding the fact that we all are at different stages of our PhDs under totally different circumstances and having faced the same set of challenges, I have come up with some key suggestions that worked for me and might work for some of you to readjust in new realities. This is the first video in the series of PhD and well-being, which will mainly cover my personal take on dealing with uncontrollable situation while doing a PhD. I don't claim to be a professional authority on health and well-being here, but simply a research scholar sharing some lived experiences that might help some of you watching this channel. So without further ado, let's begin. The broad areas that I will cover today will answer these three key questions. A. How to cope or how to take care of your mental and emotional well-being. B. How to readjust your PhD or what is doable right now. And lastly, C. What worked for me, or as I said earlier, some suggestions based on personal experience. So let's start with how to cope. Number 1. Don't compare your productivity right now. These are not normal times, and it's okay for your productivity levels to be uneven. Don't beat yourself for that. Number 2. Don't overload yourself with work. Divide each task in small workable parts. Remember to go step by step than taking it all at once. 3. Revise and reorganize your daily schedule. See what works and what does not, and then revise your schedule accordingly. 4. Celebrate small achievements. Even as small as you thoroughly reviewed 2 key articles from your area or written few sentences this week. Make a day in a week to celebrate that. 5th, it's okay to binge watch or take a long break. Yes, it's true. Don't ever feel guilty about it. You deserve that. And lastly, remember you are not alone. Although you may feel like in these times, but if you try to reach out to your fellow research scholars or seniors on same issues, you will realize that we all are sailing in the same boat. Let's come to part B, how to readjust your PhD. Case 1, if you are in your first year. Then, catch up with all your literature readings. You can use this time to categorize all that reading material by subtopics or year or country or methods used, etc. Virtually connect with peers or seniors, especially after lecture, because it is important to maintain social network among your peers for your emotional well-being too. Attend webinars or workshops related to your PhD topic, especially the ones which are free or at a student discounted price. Try to maintain a work schedule and especially be in touch with your supervisor. Now we come to case 2. If you are in the mid-PhD stage, treat whatever data you have collected so far as pilot and see what are the initial outcomes based on that. Re-evaluate your research design by keeping in mind the contextual challenges involved. Virtual networking. Best part of online world? Why only depend on your institute facilities? Reach out to experts outside your institute. Find them and contact via email or phone, even if it is for 5 minutes. You never know, you may find your external examiner too. Conduct expert opinion survey online. You can read more about it through the links provided below. Join or start a virtual writing club, like the famous Shut Up and Write sessions, which are online writing meetups For more details, check out the link below. Learn data analysis from various online courses. And lastly, revise your publication trajectory. See what is possible now and make changes accordingly. Now, case 3. If you are in the final PhD stage, complete that data analysis. Immerse yourself in that data and try to visualize the initial findings. Start outlining chapter contents. You can refer the PhD thesis reports from your own institute or other institutes as well, which provide them freely online to everyone. Create or follow a focused writing schedule. This is very important, as only if you have an accountability, you will be able to manage to write those chapters soon. And lastly, improve your introduction and literature review chapters. Now coming to the C part of the video, what worked for me? When the pandemic was announced in March by WHO, I was in my hometown and was there for the entire lockdown period. Like every other scholar, I too did not have access to my lab or library. I missed catching up with fellow researchers and especially my work setup. But fortunately, at the same time, as I became active on various online platforms, I discovered some super helpful guides that helped me sail through this difficult period successfully to some extent. Starting with the podcast The Professor is In by Dr. Karen Kelsky and Kel Weinhold from the USA. Their podcast is amazing, where they cover some non-traditional topics and share unspoken rules of academic culture while also providing strategies to achieve your goal. I loved each episode and now I'm one of their loyal listeners from India. The second one is Twitter. I know many of you might have different opinion about this platform, but trust me, it's really helpful for people in academics. The only thing is to learn how to use it for your own advantage. My first suggestion is for you is to follow hashtag academic chatter or the Twitter handle @academic chatter and @virtual not viral. You will find a whole set of another universe filled with PhD scholars and faculties dealing with universal problems from across the globe. The third one is a book for all those struggling to write or maintain a fruitful writing schedule. Becoming an Academic Writer by Dr. Patricia Goodson. I have already covered the prose of this book in one of my previous videos, so I'm not going to speak more about it. Those of you who are interested to know more can check on this link above for the same. The fourth one is an online guide for PhD scholars, the PhD Proofreaders. Although the name suggests that they only do proofreading, but don't just go by the name. It's an excellent one-stop destination for all your queries related to PhD writing, publishing, or any other dilemmas. Run by Dr. Maximilian from the United Kingdom, the website offers free PhD advice blog, a PhD thesis writing course for $59, one-on-one coaching, guidance, etc. Do check them out. The fifth are two highly recommended blog posts, Patter by Professor Pat Thompson, Professor in the School of Education, the University of Nottingham, and Thesis Whisperer by Professor Inger Newburn, Director of Researcher Development at the Australian National University. I'm not going to expand on why I like them both, but instead let you discover and decide for yourself. The only thing I will say here is that these two bloggers are like PhD guiding angel. No matter which part of the world they are coming from, their advice hits you right at the point where it should be hitting. Lastly, despite all these free materials, few other things that helped me sail through this time period included daily exercise, eating healthy food or food that makes me happy, remaining in touch with my friends, reading non-academic books, helping in house chores, and of course, binging on Netflix. Thus, in the end, my most important advice is to do everything that makes you happy and keep your mind calm, because then only slowly but gradually you will be able to achieve your goal. I know this guidance may not be enough for all of you, but might trigger some positive ideas that can bring a much needed change. So that's all for today from my side. Do let me know in the comment section below How are you dealing with the pandemic and what all changes you made to remain positive and keep on the PhD work going? Till then, from the team of Archi PhD, Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Hope this coming year brings positivity, health, and well being to all. So, see you next year. Bye bye.